Hi, I'm back. I was trying to go live yesterday, but of course, YouTube had changed things around and I had to figure it out. Ended up figuring it out on my other channel. So I just went ahead and went live there. But I'm back today. How are y'all? I'm getting ready to pull my comments up on this screen so that I can read them. um, yeah, hold on. Let me pull up the screen. So the title is Women Are Not Greedy If You Look Around. Now y'all know um, the most greedy people in the world are not women. No, we already know that. Okay. That's a given. We already know that the most greedy people in the world are not women. So let's get that out of the way. If wanting, certain things in life and for our future generations is greed, then I think people have the wrong definition of greed. Greed is when you have $1 billion and want 10 billion more when there's starving people on the planet. That's greed. Okay. Greed is when you steal from poor people, even if you're rich. That's greed. Okay. Greed is greed is if you were very financially secure, but taking money from a homeless person. That's greed. There's a difference. So to say that women are greedy and gold diggers and da 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 da, it's just simply the wrong definition. Women just want to secure a household, their children, and their children's future, and have a nice few luxuries along the way so that her life is also enjoyable. That's it. I think a lot of people um, misinterpret my message and they only take the negative from it. And sometimes I have to push that because it gets the attention. But in actuality, women are not greedy. Okay. We don't take and take and take from people that, need because we are, most of us are mothers or will be mothers. So it's not in most women to take from those in need. You understand? So I don't think women are greedy. I think we just like comfort, security, protection, and a few luxuries to make our life, seem as if everything is smooth and we're able to also enjoy ourselves while we take care of other people, raise children, teach children, keep balance, and things like that. So if you really want to call anyone greedy, you can't call a woman greedy. And everybody, you know, who are kind of upset at how men treat women and how women act and all these types of things, it's only because a lot of stuff has been thrown off because of real greed, you know? So you kind of got to think about that. Real greed is the reason why some women can't get a man or some men can't get a woman. If you just really think about it, just sit there and pause. Real greed in the world. Thank you, Blair. Left my question is too long below. Okay. I've noticed guys get a lot angrier when you set high standards because I'm not giving it away anymore. Is this normal? That because you're with the wrong men. Okay. Um, yes. And men have gotten so used to to getting it so easily that now they're angered at a woman who don't respond to them the same way. Um, so in some cultures, it's a crime to pursue a woman like that without marriage or something like that. So just think of it like that. But what I'm saying is Standards have gotten so low because people are giving it for free. And that's just to be expected, but you can bring the value back up by not giving it. Okay. And that's exactly what I'm talking about, greed. When a man is used to getting something over and over and over for little of nothing, for free, they start to want more and they start to exploit. Okay. And if we think about this, you can see it all throughout, history. When people get things for free, they start taking it for, granted, or they start wanting more and more and more. Thank you, Queen of USA. Thank you for the videos. I have free vacation booked to New Orleans and Austin, Texas. Ooh, from a nice gentleman. Oh, thank you so much. And girl, good job. What's acceptable and what's not acceptable when a man is paying all your bills? You have free will, free. Thank you for the donation, by the way, but you still have your free will no matter who's paying what. Okay. What's acceptable is up to you, you know. And if you come to an agreement and you talk to that person, and if you don't agree with anything that they're, expecting or you're expecting, then don't enter into any type of relationship or, you know, um, bill paying arrangements with them. That stuff has to be talked about, or stuff like that. So it's up to you, basically, because everybody's different. But right. Thank you, Toy Club. Thank you for always being so nice, even when people ask silly questions. Maybe teach your friend. Well, like I said, we all have free will to do as we want, and that's what makes us good. But thank you for the donation. We are all, free-minded people. Okay, so whatever we do is what we do. But thanks for the donation. So what I was trying to say was greed creates lack. So women really would never be greedy because they understand how it works. Now I know that's a little deep. That's probably for my other channel. But just think about, greed creates lack. Greed creates need. Because if you have something already that you really don't need, but you still want more and more and more of it, it means there's something in you that is lacking. Okay. That means that's not really, really what you want. And so the more you need or greed for something, the more you lack inside. So if women just simply want to have an environment that's safe, have, a man or a life that's financially stable and able to raise her own children, that's not greed. That's creation. That's wanting to push forth, love and be able to teach her own children and things like that into society, not the opposite. Thank you. How you just got engaged and you're wondering, does the game change? You keep applying to it. The game never changes, ever. You just get more comfortable with each other, but the game still keeps going. So thank you for the donation, by the way. Don't even slack up on the game. In fact, it gets stronger. So women aren't greedy. We just want what's best for us, kids, and future generations. And the thing that men don't understand is that we think in terms of generation, but they think in terms of now and in more terms of lust. Thank you, Robin Ford. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I see y'all are talking about someone, but it doesn't matter. Some people don't get along with other people. That's just how the world is. But we'll get past it. Everybody will be okay. So anyway. The more You invest in us, the more we know you value. Right. So, men, sure you're here and ready to listen. What did I miss, girl? Not much, just about 5 minutes, maybe. I don't know. So let's stick to the subject so I can do the video and y'all ask questions about what I'm talking about, or I'm not going to answer. Starting now. Okay. So, men, if is there any men here? If there is, start looking at women as far as, start looking at women not as cheap dates, not as somebody you can go home. Well, you could still look at them like that, but remember that that's not going to help you in the long run. Okay. Do um it's not going to help you in the long run because women aren't looking at you that the same way. Now, it would be easier if women were looking at men in the same way as men look at women, but we don't. So you have to keep that in mind as well when you approach a woman. But thank you, Stop and Smell the Peonies. I appreciate your donation. Um, and if you go to my channel page, you can get my information on my YouTube channel page. Just click on About. It should be there. So once men start looking at women like that, which they probably won't, but after they see them as far as lust, and then they have time to actually think, when you go home and ponder, you start thinking, okay, well, women see men differently. Instead of trying to game women by using her long term positive reinforcing thinking that's going to help future generations against her, perhaps you should really think about why women think like this. And it's for a reason. Okay. Women bring life. And so we sustain life and we also teach that to others. So, right. So when you try to gain women, what you're doing, like when you try to use her kindness and nurturing and lies about futures with them, what you're really doing is creating the exact opposite in the world. You know what I'm saying? You're creating women who don't want to do that anymore, who don't want to teach, who don't want to nurture. That's all you're creating. Okay. And then when you finally look around and say, well, where are all the good women at? I got to get out of the country to find one. It's because most men have ruined them. Or I wouldn't say ruined, but most men have mm, turned those type of women into women that no longer see the value in viewing men for future purposes, but only for the now. And the now to a woman is financial, not sexual. Okay. So that's exactly what's kind of happening. If now for you is sex and now for us is money, you've changed us into you because of what your goals were. And you can't be upset, you know. Hey. So if you want women to stop looking at you in that as a wallet, then you have to stop looking at her as a wallet, if you know what I mean. Okay? So that's right. You can't look at us like that anymore. You got to look at us as future. So we look at you as the future. But if you can't see us as the future and only for the now and your earthly um, lust, all we're going to see you as is our earthly lust for material. Okay? Because women are manifestors and creators. We manifest and create out of our body children. Okay, you guys are producers. You produce things and you give. So naturally in nature, women are going to want to manifest something material, while men are going to want to, you know, manifest something internal, which is sex. So we that's the spiritual, metaphysical reason why women like material and men like sex. You're looking at everything on a low, what they call low level. If men had a higher level of thinking, some do, you know, a lot do. If you have a higher level of thinking, that's how you need to view women. Thank you, Jolynn. A man is supposed to meet needs, not wants. Right. But sometimes a want in a life of abundance is not so bad. You know what I'm saying? Especially now in this age, because needs can be met just about anywhere, but it's a little extra that creates, you know, oh, I really like you, so I'm going to want to see you smile. I know this is what you want, so this is what I'm going to do. Um, Men teach us exactly how we need to be. Yeah, exactly. So basic needs are simply not enough anymore. You're going to have to do a little bit better because we don't live in the world of survival anymore. Um, Thank you for the donation, Taj. Right. So, right. So women have basically mirrored what men are doing, but what we value is something materially manifested. What you value is something internally manifested. So that just means sex, and it just means money or something we can hold and buy. So, you give us something like in a sexual exchange, you insert yourself into us and we manifest out and get to hold a child. Okay? It's the same thing. But on a higher level, you know, that's what you're supposed to be doing, but you're also supposed to be looking at the future and the future generations and the whole reason why you want this type of woman. It shouldn't just be to deliver a package and leave like the UPS man. Okay. And you shouldn't be the person that sent the package and get ghosted and we never see you again. Okay. Think about it. It works like this on the both of the sides. So you're mad if you get ghosted after you spend money on dinner and drinks, but then you don't expect us to get upset when after you sleep with a woman, you ghost them and don't call them or see them anymore and leave them possibly with a child. It's the same thing, you know? So you can't really get upset because everybody is doing it to each other, just in different ways. Mhm. How to break the cycle? Men have to start thinking along the lines of future generations, along the lines of, does this woman really want to be tricked out of something that is supposed to be valuable and sacred? You don't ask her, you just trick her. It's the same reason women are tricking men. Okay, it's the same thing. But if you think about it, if men were to only approach a woman that they could, do all these things for, that is necessary to create, better futures, better future generations, you know, then a lot of things would be different in the world. And men and women would get along a lot better. But since a lot of men just want a hit it and quit it, and instead of approaching the women who sell themselves on purpose with advertisements and everything, instead of approaching the prostitutes of the world or the call girls of the world, they go and get a woman who is simply, you know wanting the real deal. because even then it's greed because they don't want to pay the little however much it cost for the hit it and quit it. They don't even want to pay for that. That's greed. Okay. There are thousands of ads of back page ads and ads on Craigslist and whatever. There are so many women who you don't even have to take out, who you don't even have to know their name. And you can just pay your little whatever money, however much they charging, and get your rocks off there. But no, you want to go and take a woman who's, not trying to sell her stuff and trick her out of it, lie to her, tell her all the things that she looks for in a man, and then whoop, disappear because you got it. That's greed. Okay. Paying for prostitution is pathetic. It's pathetic only because the man is pathetic for even looking for it. Okay. So that I'm not really judging people, but that's the reason why all this stuff is messed up because of greed and not from the woman. Okay. And it's sad that in order to protect ourselves against this type of thing, you have to fight fire with fire. And the only way for now, just to show your strength. But then, in the future, it's not going to be fire with fire anymore. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. In the future, we won't be fighting fire with fire. It's going to be a whole different way. So, you know, now women are doing this just to show men, okay, well, if you can do that, we can do this. And once you already know, when a woman's fed up, there ain't nothing you can do about it. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. When women are sick and tired of being played, there'll be no more. There'll be no more even recognition. There'll be no more recognition. You know, why are men aren't pathetic for seeing prostitutes? Men are pathetic for, thank you, Jolene. Men are pathetic for seeing prostitutes, but men are pathetic for saying that it's pathetic to pay a prostitute and then go to try to trick a woman out of free sex. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Women are greedy. I see them leaving good men all the time for dumb reasons. And okay. Sometimes they're not leaving for greed. They're leaving because the man won't reach his potential, and it's, or the man thinks mediocrity is good enough, but women are there to push you to that next level. Men value women and sex, on the top of the list. And if that can't influence you or push you to the next level, then that means nothing else will, except maybe another type of woman. Maybe you're not her type. So they don't see any use for you anymore. So they leave. And since you never reach your full potential because you're not with the woman you really truly want, because you were using her, because you are greedy, she goes and finds someone that values her instead and keeps thriving in order to please her and give her those things that she so desires. Okay. So the women influence and motivate the men. That's how it's supposed to be. If you're not motivated by your woman, if she's not pushing you to that next level of excellence, then y'all don't need to be together. Okay. It makes no sense. If you value her and her influence is not pushing you to that next level, then you're just going to disappear into the cycle of poverty, and so will your children. So you have to have the type of woman that you really like, and that means you have to really be thriving or pursuing the next level of your potential. And if you're not, then you're going to go in a downward spiral, and you're going to take your whole generation with you. Okay. And so, like, I felt like I had to come to this explanation for it and really break it down and stop, being silly and funny and crude with it, because a lot of people don't really understand this on a deeper level. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you for the donation. You are such a blessing. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Most people think, um, I'm shallow, but I made a video once that said, I'm so shallow that I'm deep. And it's the same thing. Men say women are so greedy because they're greedy. It's the same thing. Okay. You don't see women out chasing men to trick them out of their money and having their babies and leaving until you hadn't seen that until you saw men stealing and tricking women out of what used to be the most precious thing. Thank you, Soya. Thank you for the priceless knowledge, Sierra. You put things in crystal clear perspective when dealing with these. Yes. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. She gave me a nice little donation. So right. That's why I feel like nothing makes y'all happy for long. That's because the men are supposed to keep doing more. Okay. You want to be a king or a god or a king, you don't stay still. You don't stay stuck. You're supposed to keep moving forward. Okay. Women aren't happy long because y'all stay still. Okay. When you stay stagnant, you're dying. Stagnation is death. If you want to remain where you are and a woman is not happy, it means you're not supposed to be stuck right there. It means you're supposed to get up and move forward so the rest of your generation can move forward. Okay. So that's what it is. If they're just nitpicking, at little small stuff, it's a bigger problem. They're just using those things to get your attention. If you nitpick, if you nag a man, oh well, why didn't you call me today? Well, why didn't you do this and why didn't you do that? What that is really saying is, I value you and I think about you all day and I make time to wonder why you're not even calling me or texting me. Do you feel the same way about me as I do you? Are we of equal value to each other? Or am I not your type? Am I not motivation enough for you? Women want men to work themselves to death. That's not true. Men should already be hard workers to begin with. You shouldn't even be asked to do any of that stuff. Okay. Back in the old days, before we had heaters, stoves that ran off gas, you had to go chop wood before the sun even rose or had a bunch of it prepared. That was back in the old days. Now that we have technology and things like that, of course, you don't need to wake up and chop wood, but you need to wake up and go to work. Okay. And it's not the same, but it is the same, Um, so if you feel like you're um, you're not appreciated and you just need it to be worked to death, well then don't procreate, don't have any kids that you need to support, and don't get with a woman that you don't want to work hard for in order to keep her and to keep your children and to keep your future generations thriving. Don't even bother to get into that. Um, just go call the back page prostitutes and hookers and escorts that are there for, when you get lonely, you know? So that's my advice. I'm not downing prostitutes. I mean, there is a necessity for everyone. And that's exactly why they exist. Okay. Um, what happened to all the videos that were up yesterday? Oh, they never got made. They weren't videos. I was still trying to figure out, this YouTube keeps changing every week into some different software. So I have to keep updating it. So that's the prostitution is legal in Europe. Okay. See, they already know. Look, man, you can't afford a wife, you can't afford a family. Don't act like and pretend like you can and just, stay there for a second and then change your mind and leave because you're not ready to be a man. Just go get you a prostitute and call it a day. And a lot of men are saying that. The whatever, go your own way dudes. And that's perfectly fine. Go pay a prostitute. Don't even bother with women you can't, you know, uh, be a man with. Hmm. And I feel like it's fair. You still get to have sex. We still get to keep our mentality and our femininity and our virtue in our heart. Because once men start tricking women out and robbing them of their virtue, their heart and all of that other stuff goes along with it. I'm just saying it in a nice way today, because I could say this in a crude way. But this is for those people that want the nice talk, because I can break it down in bad terms and make people real upset real quick. Okay. And the reason that I do that is because that's what people hear. That's what they listen to. Mm-hmm. um, right. So men, if you just want to hit it and quit it, just go get you you know somebody that just wants you to pay and leave. Thank you, Angie Trujillo. Working all day. You are. Thank you for the donation. I need to set my little alarm real quick. Because, okay, here's my thing. I have daughters, okay? And if a man lied and tricked my child, or some of you men have daughters. If a man lied and tricked your child into those type of things, left them confused with a child that you don't even want or want to pay for, that's going to affect my future generations, okay? And being her mother and some little dude comes along and does this, it's affecting all my good choices and all my hard work. So who's really greedy? We're trying to build something and you're trying to destroy it. So who's really greedy when you can go to Backpage, brothels, strip clubs, and go get whatever you need and pay your little change for all of that? Okay. You don't need to pretend anymore. That stuff is everywhere. You can go get it, just like you said, but don't try to take it. Taking something when you have the money to pay for it from somebody is greed. Okay. So women are not diggers, gold diggers. We're wanting to secure our future generations and ourselves. Women are not greedy. We want to secure our future generations and ourselves. If there are women that are willing to help you out for a small price and a small fee to where she's paying you to leave afterwards, and you don't take advantage of that, it's because you're greedy. Okay? So please, the next time you feel like you want to go and get a woman and sleep with her for free and confuse her by lying to her and saying all these things that she wants to hear, but that you never intend to follow through on, just go get you a prostitute. Okay? And pretend you're not paying her. So it seems like you're getting something for free. Okay? Because like I do a lot of consultations with ladies, and a lot of the ladies who were promised false things and lied to by men, and children abandoned by men, and da da da, they don't really, the respect and the view of the man these days is so bad, it's so low, that it's going to be hard to bring it back up, unless some of y'all start. I know some of y'all already do the right thing, but unless more of you guys do the right thing. You're going to be totally unnecessary as far as when it comes to women planning for their futures. You may be left out of the equation if you're not careful. Okay. And that's all, that's like, it's true. um, yeah. How do you get that respect back? By not trying to trick women out of free sex with lies of, oh, well, I'm going to take care of you. Oh, we're going to be together forever. Oh, will you have my baby outside of wedlock, even though I'm broke and homeless and don't have a place to live or money in my pocket? Prepare, prepare to be with a woman all the way, or, you know, plan on not trying to promise her or leave her with child if that's not your true intention for the future generation. you know so what you men should do is, either say, okay, well, I will date you, but I don't have any intention of being your husband. I don't have any, just be honest, I don't have any intention of having a child with you. I just want to date you for maybe 1 to 2 years and then move on. If you're not okay with that, then I'll go along my way. If you are okay with it, let's see what happens. Okay. Or, hey, I just want to sleep with you for one night. I don't want to see you again tomorrow. I don't want to call you. Is that okay? You know, if she wants to give it to you for free for one night because that's what she wants as well, then just tell her and let her tell you. If she wants more, if she expects more, if she thinks you're going to call her tomorrow, that's where it starts. If all you want is one night, tell her, look, I like you, you cute, but there's no way I'm gonna see you again tomorrow. It's all, if only for one night. Bust Luther out. Just one night. Be honest. Some women be like, sure, because she might not think you husband material, but just one night material, right? Then that way she knows to go get 3 condoms, some spermicide, take her birth control pill, and not expect to hear from you ever again. You know, uh, why? What if we didn't have to lie to each other anymore? So, but see, you know what that would create though? If men start doing that and women started trusting men again, you know what would happen if women trusted men again? Can you imagine a world where women trusted men? Gosh, what a world that would be. Um, Shira, I work from home, always home. Wait, you're always home. Weather's crap. Where to see men? Girl, you better get out to the crap weather. Okay. Right. Women respect honest men way more than liars. Even if it's not what she want to hear, she still respect them. It's like I will tell you honesty, honestly, the things that I say, more men respect me for telling them from the get-go what I expect, what I want, what I don't want, right? Than lying to them. And that's why I really don't think the term gold digger is correct, because from the start, most of these women are telling them, look, things are going to go this way or you will not see me. The men are given a choice, it's not forced on them. Okay. Right. So if a woman tells you straight up, okay, well, if you want to be with me, I need A, B, C, and D. That way you have free will to say no, thank you. Not for me. Then they just go on to the next one until someone says yes. But for a man to lie to a woman, oh, we're gonna be together forever. Oh, I want you. I want to marry you. I want to take you to meet my mother. I want to see you tomorrow. I want to take you traveling. Da 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 da. some women think, oh my God, he's thinking about our future, just like I am. Oh, it must be meant to be. He must be my soulmate. And then they just get tricked and lied to and never hear from the person again, or they leave after a week or two. Okay. So then women start mistrusting men. And that's where it all starts. So if you just want to hit and quit it, go get a prostitute or tell the woman up front, I don't want to see you no more after this night. So is that cool before we even start? She might release the inner freak if she knows she'll never see you again. You don't even know. You might be missing a lot. Men don't trust women because women don't trust men. Okay. And that's the real reason. Women don't trust men is the reason why men don't trust women. Because men would trust women enough to try to convince them and trick them out of something naturally. You know, if you didn't trust us, you wouldn't have to lie to us. If you didn't trust that we would want to hear from you tomorrow and see you again and plan our futures with you, you would have to lie. Okay. If you didn't trust a woman to make good decisions and to choose the type of man that she wants to father her children in the future for the future of mankind, you wouldn't have to lie to her about your qualifications. Okay. So, in other words, you don't trust yourselves. It's not us. You don't trust yourselves. You don't trust yourselves to continue to aid in the future of your humanity or your generations or your people. You don't trust yourself to do that. So you have to lie to the woman to get your little temporary rocks off when you can go to, you know, Jezebel down the street, you know, the brothel down the street. You can call up whoever. You know, even your ex might break you off soon because she already know you lie. You don't think about that. So that's why most, most of the people who just hunt for sex and lie and use women on that level are mostly always not in a good place, nor their children, nor their children's children, because they're lying and they don't respect women and they don't trust themselves. So, why do old men keep approaching you? Maybe they want to support you for real. Usually, when men get older, they have some stability and they can actually give you a future, not just pretend and talk about it, hit it and quit it, and then run away and hide. Okay. Uh, right. I shouldn't have to encourage family values. You know what I'm saying? That's a given. When a woman sees you in her future, it's that's the whole reason. Okay? It's a given, right? When a woman and a man get together, what happens? If the woman wants the man around a long time, why? If she doesn't need a father for her child or a husband, why does she need him around for more than the amount of time it takes to get her rocks off? Why? That's a given. That's nature. That's obvious. Stop stating the obvious. You already know what women want. That's why you have to lie. Okay? If you didn't know what we want, you wouldn't know how to lie to get it. So that's the whole point. If you didn't know what we wanted, you wouldn't know how to lie to get it. But somebody needs child support. I don't know who needs child support. I'm married. But if you need child support, it's because that's what you're supposed to be getting. Yes, I will tell everybody to put a baby daddy on child support in 2 seconds because when he slept with you, that's what he agreed to, fatherhood, whether he knew it or not. So if you sleep with a woman, don't be mad if she files child support on you. You already agreed to it when you slept with her. Okay? That's the agreement right there. Just like the same agreement when we give you when we sleep with you under false pretense. It's the same thing. So either way you do it, you play yourself, like Beyonce say, you hurt yourself. Okay. Every time a man messes over a woman, he hurts himself and his future generations and his whole family in the future. You hurt it. You kill it almost. Or you create even worse circumstances for your next generation. It doesn't get better, it just keeps getting worse. So if you don't see this because you're only focused on, you know, a hit it and quit it, you know, a temporary feeling, you know, then that's very animalistic. And maybe you should start thinking on a higher level because that's what animals do, not humans. Okay. Mhm. I would never suggest touching a dusty in my life if you can avoid it. Okay. Floor. Mm-mm. Why? Because that means they don't love themselves enough to want to even attract a woman that they even like or will support or be a good husband and father to. Okay. So that's why I say don't deal with dusties because they don't even want to deal with you really. If you think about it, everything basically contradicts itself if it's not done for the right reason. Okay. If you just want to get super philosophical, everything you do for the wrong reason doesn't really work out for you, not in the end. So even if you're just a straight up gold digger woman, wanting a man just for his money, yeah, great. You could go and buy all the nice things, live in the nice house, whatever, whatever. You could do all of this. But at the end of the day, if you're not happy within and you're not happy with your situation, um, if it bothers you on a level that you can't escape from, then you have to live with that. But if as a woman you see things for your future generation and you don't see any other type of men um trying to feel the same way and think the same way, you have no choice. Okay. You have no choice to keep the generations thriving and going in a positive direction, but to sacrifice your dream or whatever you thought, being in love and having it all was supposed to include. The woman sacrifices, not the man. Okay. So when a woman chooses to be a gold digger and secure her future generations, it's a sacrifice for the Disney Prince Charming or the true love and money or having it all aspect of life, unless she creates it within what she already has. So the women who are gold diggers, who do marry for money, simply only do that because there's nothing better to choose from to secure her future generations. So she has to sacrifice, being with someone who she may can be all in love with and may be able to, be a stay-at-home mother and raise her own kids who has a, well-to-do, financially stable man that she would be with or without money. They take away that. That's taken away. That's sacrificed because there are none. Okay. Or there are very, very few. So I beg to say that there are more wealthy and upper middle class men out there that will secure your future generation than there are men you can fall in love with who will financially secure you and allow you to raise your own kids and not have to work outside your house if you choose not to. Now, if you choose to, great. If you don't, then there are not many of those. So thank you, Queen. So when the men say, "Oh, there's not that many rich people out there," you're not going to find one. There's more of them out there than there are of men who are willing to do what they're supposed to do. So I will take my chances. So will these other women. Thank you, Queen Keita Shearer. You're so amazing. My daughter will be a better mindset because of what you are helping me level up on. I appreciate you deeply. Oh, thank you. I hope your daughter can benefit because that's why I do what I do. Um, right. So, like women, a lot of women ask me, "Can't I have it all? Can I have love and money?" Ask the men because it's not really up to me or you. It's up to them. You can't have it all because it barely exists anymore. Because most men don't want to do what it takes to secure the type of woman that they truly want. Hmm. Hey, Shu, did you write down the quality? No, I didn't write nothing down. I just said needs to be able to pay all my bills and secure me so I don't have to work anymore. I only needed two at the time, so I wasn't being picky, child. It's no time to be picky in the slim pickings. Okay, that's all I want. Um, if you just listen to my videos, what is this? Sometimes you don't really even need a consultation. Just listen to my videos. If there is a question, if you are with a dusty and they're not doing anything to benefit your life, I'm going to tell you to leave. You know, if you can't get a man, all I'm going to tell you is to be more feminine and to stop thinking like a man or acting like one. Mhm. Hold on. Ugh, I hate these trying to text. Okay. Okay. Do you think Erykah Badu is feminine? Men bend over backwards for her, and yet she's very unconventional. Erykah Badu is a Pisces. Pisces women are almost like, hypnotic, especially when they're in person with a man. It's pretty much easy to make a man fall in love, especially if you have that knowledge as well, the knowledge that she has. Mhm. But I feel like her unconventional, even though she's unconventional, she's still feminine. There's more than one way to be feminine. Okay. Hmm. So, so I just want to give that message because I know a lot of women that they keep asking me, well, why can't we just have both? Or then a lot of men ask, well, why can't we just come to an understanding and just have love and da da da? Well, I just told you why. Because of greed. Um, Greed for sex and, lying to get it when you can go pay for it. You know, I'd rather a man date a woman for a long period of time, get to know her, invest in her time, energy, take her on dates, impress her like they used to do in the old days. If he wanted some sex, he would not ask her unless he intended to marry her or be with her. He would go around the corner after he done dropped her off and go to the little brothel, get his rocks off, and be done. That's what men should do. They shouldn't try to, like Jay-Z says, to treat the one that you love in the same as you treat the one that you humping. That ain't by nothing. Okay? So, yes, if you want to sleep with somebody, go pay somebody. If you want a real relationship with a woman and you want her respect, don't ask her for none unless you're ready to be everything. Okay? And that's part of the reason why I tell gold diggers, make a man invest in you. Make sure before he gets anything, make sure you're happy, all your bills are paid, and you set up. Okay? That makes a man more likely to want to be with you even longer and perhaps even to marry you in the future because you're not giving him something for free and feeding his greed. You're making him earn it and work for it, which only real men appreciate what they work hard and earn, not what they get for free, because that just makes them want more for free and that turns into greed. Okay. So men are the greedy ones. It's not you, ladies. You're fine. You're doing everything correct. If you want love and success, or love and a successful man, that's up to them. Or you can just go older. Okay. Thank you, Maria. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. You didn't type anything, but thank you, girl. So I think if men understood this on this level, maybe they'll understand um, why women act a certain way. And there should always be a separation between two types of women. The women that already know they don't care to see you again and they just want your money and pay them. And then the women that want you. And the women that want you, yes, of course, you're going to need money because you're getting ready to start a family, a marriage. You're going to have a wife. You're getting ready to secure future generations. So you have to have money. That's a given. Okay, that's a given. That shouldn't even be up for discussion. But if you aren't ready for all that, just pay this lady over here for her services and be on your way. Okay. And women, if you know the man that you're dating is not about anything, it's not going anywhere, and he's not changing for the better being around you, it means he won't change for the better because you're not what it's going to take. Okay. You're not enough for him to change. That means you are not the one. So don't try to make yourself the one if you're not, because all you're going to be is the one who's paying for stuff. So if that man is basically telling you you're not the one because I'm not going to change for you, you don't push me, you don't inspire me to want a family and children with you, that means get up and leave and go find someone who does. You can't force a man that doesn't find you naturally attractive or naturally wants to be your husband to be that. And if you force that, all you end up doing is getting pregnant by a man who doesn't want you. Okay. So make sure you understand this, ladies. You cannot force a man to be attracted to you or want you as a wife if he can't meet your standards. If he can't meet your standards, he doesn't want to. That means you're not the one. So don't try to make yourself the one. And so many women don't understand this. Oh, I'm going to be the one. I'm going to make you love. Nope, you can't. Because the one won't have to tell him twice. Okay? You ain't Neo. You ain't the one. The one will not have to tell him twice to get up and go get something. Because he'll already have it. He'll already beat her to even opening her mouth. That's the one. Okay? Yeah, women do have big egos. So you're not supposed to force him into making you the one. You're supposed to just be the one. And if you don't see that you're the one, you're supposed to leave him and let him go find his one. And you go find someone else who thinks you're the one. Okay. Um, so if most men think about how they're getting ready to affect a woman, when you lie to a woman, you lying to society. Let's just put this out there. When you lie to a woman, when you hurt a woman, when you are not prepared to be a man with a woman for future generations, you hurt society. Thank you, Simplicity, for the donation. You hurt society because you're changing the nature of a woman by your actions. And to change the nature of a woman is to change a lot of things. Okay. So if the nature of a woman becomes greed like yours is, then where does that leave us? Hmm. So just really think about it. If you change the nature of a woman to stop focusing on her future generations and family and pushing it to the next level, but instead you upset that woman enough to start thinking about the same thing you're thinking about, temporary satisfaction, which is, let's just face it, for a woman, material. When you want sex and she wants material, y'all are wanting the exact same thing on the same spectrum, but on opposite ends. Okay. So when you stop looking at women for sex and temporary or short term satisfaction, then she'll stop looking at you as somebody to get money out of only. Okay. So that's what needs to happen. Hmm. What does a woman who has won the lottery to do? For me, if I won the lottery, I'm buying my own island like Nature Boy. I'm just kidding. Um, well, see, I would own the island. I wouldn't just be hopping from land to land, but I'd own my own island. That's number one. I'm buying my own island. Number two, I don't know yet. But I'm sure number two will make a lot more money. So, what if you have sex too soon, but he doesn't ghost you though? Um, I don't know. You have to see where that leads because I feel like he might stick around to hit it and quit it a few more times, or you can slow things down and get to know the person. You know, see why they're really there. See why they're really there. Slow it down. Like, don't sleep with him again until you know him and he's taking you out on proper dates and you know he's a good person or he can help you or benefit you in some way. Why do rich men not look at the help? You already typed that and I already saw it. I think it's because they don't see them as someone that they can understand on the same level on the mentality. Um, so it's two different worlds. Mhm. A lot of men these days are trying to compete with us women. We must always level up daily. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Well, he just had a baby by the maid. You know, he wasn't taking her out in public and flaunting her around. And when his wife left, he wasn't, with her. He just slept with the maid. You see how that's different? Hmm. Why do rich men not look and approach workers? The bald African air hostess is asked for her number by a prince. The bold African air hostess was asked. Air hostess, that's a stewardess. That's a little bit different. A stewardess and a maid is a little bit different. One serves drinks in cute outfits on planes of rich men. One scrubs floors and vacuums and cleans up after other rich people or whatever. So it's a little bit different, you know, just a little bit different. hmm How can you make your boyfriend jealous? I keep telling you, you can't force stuff on men. If you're not the one, he ain't gonna be jealous. Only men will get jealous because of possession, or he thinks he possesses you, but doesn't plan to possess you for always. You can make any man jealous, but that does not. It's not gonna help him make him see that you're the one. You know. So if you have to do all of this, if you got to make him jealous, if you got to make him do A, B, C, and D, he really don't want to be there. He just being there for whatever you're giving him. He's benefiting from you actually. So just take a moment and think about that. Why is he truly there? If you have to do all of this stuff, why isn't he trying to make you jealous? And if you think he is he really trying to make you jealous, or does he really feel like you're not going anywhere because you like him more than he likes you? Okay, because if you try to make him jealous and he really doesn't want to be there and you're not truly the one, all that's going to do is make him have a real legitimate reason to leave you, you know? So just think about it. hmm if you can't make him jealous by just walking out the house looking good, you ain't the one. If you can't make him jealous by going out at night without him, you ain't the one. Right? Get dressed one night and say I'm going out with my girls and just leave. If he's not asking you where you're going and can he come to, and who da 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 da, he's not remotely concerned because he plans on doing something else when you leave out that door, then maybe you need to think about that one. hmm Oh, he spends a lot of money on you and takes you out a lot, but you feel like he's straying. Okay. That's because that's not enough. Okay. That's not enough for him. Whatever y'all are doing is not enough for him, and he feels like it's not getting him anywhere. So I don't know. I don't think she feels like he's getting anywhere with you. So maybe you need to maybe you need to do something profound, like tell him, oh, profess your strong feelings towards him and see what happens. If he still starts to stray after that, then let him go. hmm Yeah. Off topic. Where did you get this hair from? It's the same wig that I have in the brighter color, but it's just a dark. And I have a beauty channel where I talk about where I got that wig from. AliExpress.com. I think it's KRN hair official hair store. KRN official hair store on AliExpress.com. Okay. Sure. How can you get him to buy an apartment for you? Um, a whole bunch of stuff. Okay. I can't just say it on this video. You got to be what he wants. Okay. If you're not what he truly wants and wants to be with a lot, it's not going to happen. So You got to be what he truly wants. You know, some men just date women. Some men that date women truly want that woman, and they'll do things for her because they really like her and they see themselves with her in the future. So they invest in her. If you're not a woman worth investing in, there's no way, no matter what you do, you're gonna get no apartment. So you have to be all the way leveled up. You have to be what this guy really wants, and they have to like you way more than you like them. You know. So that's number one. Um, can't you make a man want you with sex if you want to make him leave? Not in America, not anymore in America. Maybe in other countries, but right now, not in America, no. It's the exact opposite in America because people are giving it away free or charging for it. So it's nothing anymore. It's um it's just something that's actually it's better once you get to know that person and have truly invested in them and gotten to know them. It's actually better. But a man and a woman will sleep together, after the first date sometimes, and they'll never see each other again. So it doesn't work like that when it's so abundant. That's why I keep telling these ladies to stop doing that because you're devaluing it. You're lessening the value, and it's not going to keep them, especially if they can go do it again the next night and the next night with a whole different woman. Okay, there you go. So if I can go out and get, it's the same thing as a man. A man would be devalued if I could go out every day and get a man to buy me a car or at least put a down payment on a car. A man would be devalued. Marriage rates would go down in men if I could go every day and get a couple thousand from any man I wanted, just or the one a good target. Okay. Oh, I need, you know what? I want to go shopping. I want some new jewelry. Well, let me go over to this dude and get a couple thousand from him. Okay. Tomorrow I'll go to some other dude and get a couple thousand. You will never need to get married. You would never need to settle down. You would never respect a man. All you will see him as is money, not a man. So that's exactly why men only see women for sex because you keep giving it away. That's what you become. You become sex because that's all, it's free, you know, just like the dollar store is named the dollar store because everything is a dollar. Okay. Now it's just not called the store, it's called the dollar store because everything is a dollar. If you could sleep with every woman, then it's not a woman anymore. You understand? So if you can get money from every man you encounter, it's not a man anymore. It's an ATM. There you go. And that's why women who give it up free devalue all women, not just themselves, but all women. So that's why if you're out there sleeping with anything and everything moving, that's why the value of women and yourself goes down. And that's why men are upset when they want some and you say no. That's why they have the audacity to be upset because you've been labeled. Just like you'd be upset if you went up to an ATM and it was out of order. You'd be mad. Oh, okay. Or you went up to an ATM and they were like, oh, you want $150? Okay. Well, you're going to have to pay $5,000 to get 150,000 out or 100 out. And you're going to be like, what? You're going to be confused. What? Or they'll say, okay, well, let me let me get your car keys, let me get your house key, and then I'll give you your money. They're like, what? They'll be confused because they're not used to doing that. They're just used to going and get what they need and leaving. So men are also confused because of women who don't value themselves. So a lot of the ladies who's like, oh, I just gotta be sexually free. I'm gonna do what a man does. That's fine, do what a man does, but at least charge for it so he don't come around asking for free stuff from women that are trying to create their life. Okay. If you might as well be getting paid if you giving it up for free. If you're that promiscuous. Okay. If you're that promiscuous, charge for it. You miss your calling. If you're not and you just want to you know if you want a boyfriend, a man, somebody to take care of you in the future long term, then you can't do that type of stuff. You have to make them earn you and invest in you so that they value you. Okay. If you're, yeah, I'm a free spirit, then you better be, you free, but you should be charging. Okay. You missed your calling. There you go. I'm serious. And if you don't think that they'll pay you for it, then maybe you didn't miss your calling. Maybe you need to just level up and see if you can continue on your journey of the calling. I don't know. But in ancient times, let me tell you guys, in ancient times, they did have what they call sacred whores. Sacred whores in ancient Egypt were women who would give those men what they needed at the time so that they don't mess up the rest of society. Okay. And in return, they might even give us a little wisdom. So, right. So you don't need to go and mess up someone's life when you can go and pay for it and be done. And Shira, what shall I do? This millionaire gave me his business card and he owns a soccer team. He's saying he wants to mentor me and I should send him my resume. What should I do? He's a billionaire. Um, Resume. He's probably says that to everybody. I wouldn't send him any resume. Um, I would just call him. It's like, I don't want to work for you. I want to date you. Be bold. Billionaires like boldness. Okay, I don't. I'm not the worker. Like I said, be honest. Be straight up. Be honest. Ain't nothing wrong with being honest. And if you go through the process and you put in your resume and he mentors you and now you really working somewhere and some other chick just walked straight up to him and said, "Hey, I want to date you. I don't want to work for you." And now she's his girlfriend. Then what? You see, just be honest about what you want with a man. If they're a real man, you can have it. If they plan on tricking you and weren't interested in you in the first place, then it won't even matter because you aren't going to have it. Okay. Uh-huh. Don't let men shame you with the gold diggers. Yeah. You're not being a gold digger. You're just securing your future generations. That's all I say. Your future generations are worth more than gold. Hmm. So, right. This other guy you were on two date with bought a couple drinks. You know, right, good. Keep reminding him about that car every time he asks for sex. Every time he asks for sex, ask for something else. Okay, it's not free, and it shouldn't be free. If they don't want to invest in you, then they don't need to do anything with you at all. They don't even need to be in your presence. So, I mean, honestly, that's just the truth. If a man has no good intention with you in the future, he don't need to be in your present unless he's benefiting you. Okay, that's the honest to goodness truth. There are prostitutes and there are escorts for that. You need to remind him, look, you're sitting here in front of me. You like me? You see any type of future with me? What are your intentions with me? Because if you just want sex, there's a back page right here on this magazine. Here you go. Or you can go on Craigslist. Remind them who you are. Okay. Remind them that there are women that will sleep with him for $150, waiting on his call right now. So remind him of that when they keep asking you for sex, if you don't really want to sleep with them. Now, if you're trying to get money out of them, of course, play their game right back. Okay, that's what I teach. You know, fighting fire with fire. Play their game right back. Mention that car. You know. So, but then, some women, they find a cheap one that's never going to give them money for the car. So your good exit conversation should be the back page in the Craigslist conversation. When you decide that he's not for you anymore because he's not going to invest and all he wants is sex, and you never plan to talk to him again, go ahead and give him that back page and give him that Craigslist speech and make a good exit. Okay. hmm There. Not right, exactly. She's here to cause confusion. Oh, I'm here to correct confusion. Um, because a lot of these ladies are confused because of lies men tell in the first place. If you approach a woman, if a man approaches a woman and he tells her things, future things like, oh, I want to be with you, I want to marry you, I see us together. Even though those words are innocent and probably automatic out of some of you men's mouth just to sleep with a woman and you don't even realize what you're saying, that's confusion. You don't even realize what you're saying. That's confusion because some women will take that stuff seriously. They might even go call their mama, I found a one, not knowing that that's just your pillow talk so you can hit and quit it. Um, so the only people that are causing confusion are the ones that don't even realize they're lying to sleep with a woman because it's so natural these days. Exactly. If you want to sleep with a woman, just say, look, I don't see you as my future wife. I don't even see you as a girlfriend. I just want to sleep with you. If she says, okay, sure, then great. But you ain't got to lie, Craig. You know? Mhm. And some men actually do that just because they understand. They understand that they get more respect and they don't have to worry about some woman being crazy or obsessed or waiting on a phone call after they did what they did. So, I'm, yes. Why is this? I hate it when this updates come in. Ugh, what's this? Um, yeah. And since I do consultations, I've run into a lot of women who really wanted a relationship and a future with a man, and she believed all those lies. I'm sure this happened to many women, and she believed all those lies, and had a child out of wedlock, and the man left anyway. And a lot of a lot of times, it psychologically takes a hold of a lot of these women psychologically, emotionally, psychologically, mentally. A lot of these ladies don't even love their child because the only reason they had the child is to secure the man. And because of lies that the man told. Now, when a woman like that, who's emotionally unstable in the first place, takes those things seriously, it's very dangerous to future generations. Now a lot of the women will not even love their own child, pawn their child off on the grandparents, or put them up in foster care, or leave them alone at home at ages that are too young, or take them over other people's house and don't even do background checks because they really don't care. And the future generations are getting worse and worse because of the chaos is created when men lie to women to get what they want. I'm not putting blame on the man because a woman should make him invest no matter what. Okay. A woman needs to have standards. And if you're not strong mentally as a woman to keep standards, it's just as much as your fault than it is the man who talks you out of your standards. So I'm not putting blame on men or women. I'm just saying women aren't greedy. We just have standards and we look out for our future generations. And when the man lies to get something, that he wants temporarily and then discards it, that messes up future generations as well. So it's not that you're getting a freebie, it's that um, in most cases you could be, but in most cases with certain types of women, you're not getting a freebie. You're destroying and you don't even really understand what you're doing. So that's my deep talk for the day. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. And another thing, man, I'm not going to say all because I don't want to generalize, but most women don't seek or enjoy sex on the same level as men, just so you know. So it's not an even exchange, not for women. Just so you know, I want to put that out there. Okay. Let me say it again for the people in the back. Women do not value nor need nor pursue sex like men do because it's not the same for them. Okay. So it is not an even exchange. So don't ever think it is because it's not. Okay. Just so y'all know. Don't think because you gave her some that you gave her anything. You can give her nothing. Okay. Your stuff is not worth the same as our stuff to you. So just keep that in your mind. You guess you're rare. There are always exceptions to the rules. I'm not saying that women aren't. There's some women, and I did a video on that why women are over sexualized. Okay, but most women do not value sex like a man. It's not valuable. It's not even the first thing on their mind. It's probably the last thing on their mind. Maybe the fifth, sixth thing on their mind. Okay, not the first thing. That's why the men have to lie to get to the sixth thing. Because the first thing is what, oh, I just met the one. Oh, he's my soulmate. Oh, I think, we'll make some pretty babies. Oh, I see him with me forever. So they got to get through all these layers of a woman planning for her future generations to get to the sex. And so they know every lie to tell to get through each layer in order to get to the sex. So you already know what you're doing. You're just so used to doing it, you don't think it's wrong anymore. Okay. So until men realize that that's wrong, you're going to continue to see a lot of issues between men and women. Hey, Mickey. So just keep that in your mind. Keep it in your mind. I didn't know you were on video. Oh, you, you didn't know? Okay. Sorry. I was texting her at the same time. That's who I was texting. Yeah. Yeah, I was just talking about how when women get with the man that they really truly want in their future and the man basically just lied to them and ditched them, perhaps left them with a child. Sometimes they don't even want the child. They really wanted the future to include the the mom, the dad, and perhaps the child. So I was talking about how some women, take that out on the child by not giving love. Um, I've had several women tell me that they didn't want, I've had several women tell me that. And they were more focused on the man and having the relationship and the whole nine, you know, and it's a complete package. And most women want that. Most women. Okay. And when that just doesn't happen, all of a sudden, these women change it to vessels. Okay. When I say a vessel, I mean like hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. You're going to get some devious behavior out of them. Okay. Bitter baby names. They get super crazy. Exactly. You don't want that. Okay. Jerome Max, we're not concerned about you because you're one of the people that we're speaking about. Okay. The ones that cause confusion, as you whatever. I mean, look at his last name, Max. Who you macking? Your future wife? See, that's another way you can tell. Look at their names on social media. Look at their pictures. Look all on their stuff to see what type of man they really are. That's for the women who aren't seeking men to provide lifestyle. If you still looking for love, if you're still looking for love and a good, decent, honest man, you're gonna have to get your microscope out, um, binoculars, and your telescope. Okay, they're hard to find. And this is a good example of one. Read his last name, Max. Okay, who you macking on? Mac, you need to be macking on some money, right? Um, so no, like I think women need to understand this on a deeper level because women are naturally deep. They feel deep, they're emotional. And I think if I since I explain it this way, they can truly understand why they are the way that they are. Because they may not have known why they act a certain way. Bye, kitty. And men may not even know or realize what they're doing is even having an effect psychologically on people. So now that that's out and open, maybe people will make different decisions. Hmm. Mac and McDonald's drive-through. So women actually have emotions, yes, until they're killed or suppressed to, you know, to avoid future mishaps with men. Yes, of course. Women have emotions, of course, but they have to lock them up and throw them away when dealing with men because men will lie to get what they want with no remorse, no second thoughts, just automatically. So I feel like yeah, sometimes that's why I suggest dealing with older, more mature men who have learned the lessons of life and understand the value of a woman more and are able to secure you and your future generations. That's why I say older men just easier, avoid all the confusion. But if you are looking for somebody your age and you're not really caring about this money and you are looking for a good person, you need to understand that the mentality of men today don't even know it's wrong to lie to get sex. Okay. They don't even know that that's wrong. They just think it's part of the game or whatever. But if you run into those, then kindly direct them to Craigslist or the back page. It's like you ain't got the lie over here, baby. They don't even care. Just make sure you have your money. Okay. So don't stop giving away free sex. Direct them to Backpage, direct them to Craigslist. And once you hear all those lies come out that you obviously know are lies, because when a man tells you, I love you after 2 days or a week, you know it's a lie. When a man tells you, oh, I see you in the future and you're my wife after 3 or 4 days, you know it's a lie. So to kindly direct them to the back page or kindly ask them for some money if you own the back page, even if you ain't. If they have the nerve to ask you for any type of sex, then you need to have the nerve to ask them for the down payment to your next luxury vehicle. Okay, so because it's the exact same thing that they're doing to you, you just don't even realize it because it happens too much. It happens too much, and you don't even realize it. So the next time I see a woman saying, "Oh, he wants sex from me. What do I do?" If he has the audacity to tell you he wants sex, have the audacity to tell him you want some diamonds, or you want to go shopping, or you want some new tires on your car. Okay? Have the audacity just as he does. Okay? You're not free. Okay? If he has money, he shouldn't be trying to get you for free anyway. That's called greed. Women aren't greedy, men are greedy. If he's sitting up there and he's got money and he's expecting you to give him something for free or for little or nothing, then that's the real greed. Okay. When he can just go and call Backpage and Craigslist and pay his little $150, $200 and be on his way, why is he sitting up here with you talking about, I got money, I'm rich, now give me some sex? Just because you rich don't equal sex. Um, Investment, money, tit for tat, that may equal sex. May, keyword may, it doesn't guarantee it. Okay. So if he has the audacity to ask you for it, you shouldn't feel any type of way or any type of guilt for asking him for something that you value. Okay. Because the men value certain things and the women value certain things. And if he's only seeing you for sex, then you only need to be seeing him as a wallet. There's no other way around it. If he wants to see you as a future wife, he would hold off on asking for sex on the first or second date because that is disrespectful. So obviously, already know he don't see you as his wife. So you shouldn't see him as your husband. But since he sees you as sex, you need to see him as money. That's it. How you truly know if somebody really likes you is how they view you. Okay. If you were on a real date with a real man that wasn't about any type of money or exchange, and he mentioned sex on the first date, you would be appalled. You would be like, "What? I'm not that kind of girl." You know, but since you're on a date with a old rich man or a sugar daddy, and he mentions sex, it doesn't even make any difference. If he mentions sex, you mention what you want. See, this is the bargaining. Okay, and you still don't even have to do it. You could just give him the illusion, just like they do, that it may happen and it may not happen. But it's the game. So if you enter into the game, you need to play the game. Um, you need to know how they see you. And maybe they'll start seeing you different because they see that you're seeing them only as money. If anything should develop from that, then when all is said and done and you've got what you want and he's maybe gotten what he wants, then you can see each other for who you really are. Oh, I don't know if I like this person. Um, So that's probably going to be the last time I see them. Or you could have a lot of stuff in common. He could really like you, and he wouldn't pressure you for anything. He would just give you everything and expect you to, feel secure, safe, and actually want to do those things, not be pressured to. So it's a difference. Hmm. Um, the quarterback. What? I don't even know. I don't know about football, so I'm sorry. Uh, But what happens when they offer you the money? What do you mean for sex? Take the money and then get a fake phone call or throw up. Okay, and then tell him, oh, you should have called Backpage or Craigslist. You're bad. Take it and say, oh, thank you so much. I need to go buy some birth control pills or some lingerie for next time. And then there'll be no next time. Okay. Hmm. Sure, I accepted to cheat now. I look mean. How can I fix that to him? What? Smile. Mhm. Yes, get the money first. Okay. I don't know how you can fix that. I mean, just act like you don't care. Once you act like you don't care, they care. That's the whole funny thing. Hmm. Hmm. Look, y'all ladies, a lot of you have brains. If you just really sit and think about how men trick you, you'll have the game. You'll have it better than me. Okay. Just sit and think for a second. What did they do? What did the last dusty dude do to get you to give up something? What did they do? What did they tell you? How did they approach you? How did they act around you? It's the same thing in reverse. Okay. It's the same thing. All you have to do is tell them what they want to hear, promise them something you're never going to deliver, and collect the reward before you give out anything and then ghost. Men do it every day. Learn the game. If you don't know it, then you're not paying close enough attention when you're being mistreated. Okay. If you're being mistreated, and you'll never figure out why unless you pay close attention. Okay. It's easy to get what you want. Pay attention to these men. They do it daily with zero guilt. You need to be doing the same until they come correct. Otherwise, there's no need for you to suffer. Okay. There's no need for you to suffer until they start coming correct. When they start coming correct, then you can, see what they're talking about. But until then, I don't see no reason to waste your good emotions on a man. What if a man tries to guilt trip you into sex? Then it's your free will. You don't get guilted into anything. Okay, that means you're being gamed. You don't get guilted into anything. If you can't guilt that man into marriage, then he can't guilt you into sex. If you can't guilt him into a new car, then he can't guilt you into sex. Do you understand? If you can't get a new luxury vehicle down payment out of guilting him, he cannot guilt you into sex. Do you see the same? It's the same. You don't owe him anything. Okay. He did that trying. Keyword trying. Okay. Remember, if he's chasing you, he's trying. There was no guarantee. You're not on the back page. So therefore, there is no guilt. There you go. How to convince him to cheat when he feels guilty? What do you mean, how to convince him to cheat when he feels guilty? Set him up. Don't you know how to set people up? Get you a man that looks really good that you know he can't resist. and have them set yourself up online, get you an alias Facebook with a attractive man that's his type, and see what he do. Well, start messaging him. The women do it all the time. The crazy ones, I don't even have time to do all of that because you know, shoot. Right. I already told him that. Some of them don't. Some of them don't even want to listen. Go get an ugly man. You said go get an ugly, and that's funny because some ugly men think they look good. Mhm. So, right. Yeah. I mean, cola. Yeah, that's true. And a lot of men are saying, well, what about love and what about respect? That's gone when y'all start lying. It leaves. It doesn't exist anymore. Mm. Because think about it. Most women, when they're young, 19, 18, 19, 20, 21, that's what they're looking for. Exactly. That's exactly what they're looking for. But when they run into a man, guess what they get? Lies, deceit, dishonesty. So then guess what? They stop looking for it. Maybe after the third one or the fourth one, then they stop looking for it. And then they don't think it exists anymore. So they start looking for material. Okay. So it's very important if these men stop lying to women, then they'll keep looking for love. Love will still exist between men and women. Da 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 da. But since you don't and you don't care about lying, especially to these young, vulnerable, impressionable young ladies who have their whole lives ahead of them that you destroy, you don't, you're not going to fix the problem. You're just going to make it worse. Hmm. Oh, King Yala, you still unemployed? Yola, Yala, I don't even know. You still employed? You still unemployed? You are lying to these women right now. No, you lied to them by putting the word king in front of your name and you don't own a damn thing. Okay? That's a lie. That's a lie before God. You know how people say? That's a lie before God. Don't put the word king in front of your name if you don't have no property. You don't even have a castle. King of what? King of lies. Okay? King of lies. That's clue number one. Okay. So no, we're not going to even entertain that today. Hmm. And I really don't think that all these women in here are going to even believe you, dude, because most men lie from jump. Okay? So you're wasting your little typing skills. Okay. Just think about it. If the fate of the world rested in the hands of a man and a woman, and the test was okay, the world will end if you don't pick the person that's telling the truth. So there was a woman and a man. The man tells you something, and the woman tells you something. Who are you going to believe? I'm going to just wait. You have only one choice. And the rest of the world is going to perish if you choose the wrong choice. Who will you believe? The woman. Exactly. Why? Because everybody knows the men lie first and the most. So that's how you know that I'm telling the truth. When I tell women that you're not, women aren't greedy, men are greedy. Okay. You're not seeing it correctly because you're so um, used to lying that you don't even see that it's a lie. Okay. Mhm. If you want to save a person, help. Mm-hmm. Sure. What if he sees me as a mean person? Move on to the next one. Like you spending too much time on this one person. Like you didn't ask about a bunch of questions. It's if it's that hard, if it's that much work, move on. Okay. Um, if he sees you as a mean person, then he's probably either A, too sensitive, or B, you are mean. It's either one, or he's playing you to get what he wants. Okay, I can say someone's mean to guilt them into doing something that I want. That's very simple psychology. Mhm. No one is worth the loss of your peace of mind. See, what did you? Nope. See, Ali, I probably won't watch that movie because it's not something I'm interested in. You know what I mean? My sister guilted me like that and called me mean all the time. Exactly. It's called reverse psychology. She is the reason why I'm not going to get married. Good. And I encourage men not to marry when they're not ready to marry. Some men uh, will never be ready to marry, so they never will. It's not that the women want to marry you as is, it's that you may not even be marriage material. So really doesn't matter if you want to get married or not. Should you get married is the question. Can you even get married? My advice for men is to stop lying to women when you want to sleep with them. Here's my thing. If you're a man and you just want to sleep with a woman a couple times and you say, "Hey, I just want to sleep with you about 3 times and I don't ever want to see you again after that," you get more respect than saying, "Hey, you could be the one. You're my future queen. I want to comfort you. I want to heal you." You know all them spiritual dudes that do that. Or I see you as my wife. Stop lying to get sex. There's prostitutes that are selling it that you can get it and never see again. Go get it from them. But don't ruin these little young girls who believe everything a man says because they're innocent. Or even these older ladies, just so you can hit it and quit it. Just tell, look, I only want to see you 3 times at most. Are you down? You ain't got to lie, Craig. Just go get the back page, get on Craigslist, get your rocks off, and move on. Okay? That's what advice I have for men. If you don't want to get married, I don't blame you. Marriage is expensive. Okay. That's why most of the middle class and up only get married these days. Most people who are not in a certain financial um, bracket are marrying less and less because they can't afford it. Okay. So if you can't afford marriage, if you don't want to stick with one woman and you just want to chase, you don't even got to chase. All you got to do is go pay a prostitute, go pay a call girl, and you'll it's guaranteed. You don't have to mess up anybody's life. You don't have to mess up the future generations of America. You don't even have to mess up your own name. Just go pay for it somewhere and be happy and leave women alone who you don't intend or have good intentions for unless they agree with your honest, straight up intention. Okay, that's all I see. hmm What do I think of MGTOW? I think it's good and bad, but I think if you know you're not going to be able to please or give a woman what she needs and wants, then there's no use in pretending. But there ain't no reason to be mad either. You can't do it, then good. Um, don't be mad about it though. I feel like you already know that you're not marriage material, so there's no need to pretend to be, right? I feel like a lot of women would dodge bullets if men were just more honest about what they really wanted instead of lying to them. And it would create less lies from women in general. So men, either go pay for what you want from, someone who's selling it, or realize that you don't want the life of a married man because that's just not for you, and you'd rather pay people to sleep with them every once in a while when you need some, and just be on go on with it. I don't feel like you should procreate or lie to women to get what you want. So going your own way is perfectly fine with me, because a lot of women would probably be better off mentally and spiritually if men did this from the jump, okay? Instead of lying to them, probably be easier. And it's less greedy, you know, it's less greedy. You know what's greedy? When you don't want to pay for something, you want it for free, even though you can pay for it. It's greedy to take, that's greedy, okay? So if you got enough money to hire a hooker, don't come lying to a woman who may see you as her future husband, but you only see her as a one night stand. That's my thing. Or a week of sex and then you ghost her. If that's all you see the woman as, then go get a prostitute. If you can afford to pay for one and you don't, and you're trying to get it free over here from someone unsuspecting, that's greed. Okay. Not greed to want to secure your future, have a husband who can provide and support a family. That's not greed. Okay. So, and have a few luxuries so that you can live comfortably. That's not greed. That's normal. What's greed is lying to get something for free when you have the money in your pocket to go hire a hooker. That's greed. Okay. So don't fix your mouth to ask women for sex. Don't fix your mouth to lie to women anymore, because now they their guilt and their shame that you try to put on them is no longer there, because you've ruined it, not them. And so now when you ask for sex, remember that sex to a woman is not the same as sex to a man. We don't value it as much as y'all. So we're going to want something that we can touch and hold and take home and keep with us forever. Okay. Thank you. I'll see y'all later because I got to go. And I hope that this video was helpful to a lot of people who thought I was shallow and only wanting money and gold digging. I had to break it down for those who didn't understand. I hope this makes it clear. Sometimes I have to use harsh words and certain words to get the attention in order to get the understanding. But in reality, it all boils down to greed and not from the woman. Bye.